Have you ever felt like your life is too full, too busy, too loud, too complicated? Every day you wake up to notifications, deadlines, messages, and noise. You buy more things, chase more goals, and still feel empty inside. You think success means having more, but deep down, you wonder if more is better. Why do I still feel lost? Now, imagine another way of living. A life where peace is not something you chase, but something you carry inside. Where your home is not filled with things, but with space. Where your time is not packed with endless tasks, but with meaning. This is the way of Japanese minimalist philosophy, the art of living beautifully, simply, and intentionally. The Japanese have a word for this way of life. Say jaku, meaning quiet stillness in the middle of chaos. It's not about giving up everything. It's about learning what truly matters and letting go of the rest. So, my friend, if you want to breathe again, think clearly, and live with peace, this lesson is for you. Let's explore how to simplify life, not by losing anything, but by gaining yourself. 1. The beauty of less. Why simplicity is freedom. In modern life, we are surrounded by messages that tell us to want more. More clothes, more followers, more money, more success. As if more automatically means better. Everywhere you look, advertisements promise happiness through possessions. Social media shows perfect rooms, perfect lives, and perfect people. So, you start to believe that if you just had a little more, you'd finally feel complete. But have you noticed something? The more you collect, the heavier life begins to feel. Your home fills with objects. Your phone fills with distractions. Your schedule fills with noise. And your heart slowly runs out of space. Japanese minimalist philosophy teaches the opposite. It says, when you let go of what you don't need, you make space for what you love. This simple truth carries deep wisdom. Most of us are not tired because we do too little. We are tired because we carry too much. Too many things, too many thoughts, too many expectations. Minimalism invites us to pause and ask, do I really need this? Every time you remove what doesn't matter, you make more space for peace, clarity, and freedom. Imagine your life as a small room. If it's filled with unnecessary things, you can barely move. You trip over objects. You lose what's important, and you never feel calm. But when you clean that room, remove the clutter, and keep only what adds value, suddenly the air feels lighter, the light shines brighter, and you can finally breathe. The same happens in your inner world. When you let go of unnecessary worries, regrets, and comparisons, your mind becomes a peaceful space where joy can live. In Japan, many minimalists live by a simple rule: one in, one out. If they buy something new, they let go of something old. It sounds small, but this habit keeps their lives balanced. It prevents them from being owned by their possessions. You see, they don't measure happiness by how much they own, but by how peaceful they feel. Because owning too much is not a sign of success. It's often a sign of confusion. When you own less, you worry less. You clean less, you spend less, and you compare less. Suddenly, you have more time for what truly matters, experiences, not things. You begin to enjoy quiet mornings, deep conversations, and honest work. Life becomes lighter, not because it's empty, but because it's full of meaning. Remember this truth. Simplicity is not a lack of something, it's the presence of peace. When you remove the unnecessary, what remains is what's truly beautiful. Space, stillness, and the freedom to simply be. 2. The Japanese concept of ma, the space between things. One of the most beautiful and profound ideas in Japanese philosophy is the word ma, gien. It may look simple, but it carries deep meaning. Ma means the space between things. It is the silent pause that gives rhythm to sound, the empty corner that brings calm to a room, and the quiet moment that allows the heart to rest. In much of the modern world, people focus on adding more decoration, more activity, more noise, more movement. But the Japanese understand something we often forget. Beauty is not only in what you add, but in what you leave out. Think about a painting. What makes it beautiful is not only the colors or shapes, but also the white space around them. That empty space allows your eyes to rest and the image to breathe. The same is true for life. Our days are like paintings, and the space between our actions is what gives life its balance. Without space, everything feels crowded and chaotic. We rush from one thing to another, trying to fill every minute with something productive. But when every second of your day is filled with scrolling, talking, working, worrying, you leave no space for peace to enter. You become like a song with no pauses, just endless noise. In Japan, ma is a part of everything. Architecture, art, music, and even daily routines. When you walk into a traditional Japanese home, you'll notice open spaces, simple designs, and natural light. Nothing feels too much or too little. Every object has a clear purpose, and every empty space has meaning. The garden paths have gaps between stones to remind you to walk slowly and mindfully. The tea ceremony includes moments of silence to honor presence and connection. Ma is not emptiness, it is living space. Space that allows the mind, body, and soul to breathe. To live simply, you must create ma in your own life. That means making room for stillness, quiet, and reflection. Spend 10 minutes a day doing nothing. Just watching the sky, listening to your breath, or drinking tea in silence. Those small pauses are powerful. They help you reconnect with yourself. They remind you that life is not just about doing, it's also about being. Ask yourself today, where can I create space in my life? Maybe it's your crowded room, your busy schedule, or your overthinking mind. Begin by removing what's unnecessary. Not just things, but mental noise. When you create space, peace quietly fills it. That is the secret of Masa, a reminder that in the stillness between moments, true life begins. 3. Wabi-sabi, finding beauty in imperfection. Modern society constantly tells us to chase perfection. The perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect relationship, and the perfect home. We scroll through social media and see flawless images of other people's lives, and slowly we start believing that happiness is only for those who have everything in order. But here's the truth: perfection is an illusion. It never ends. The more you chase it, the more distant it feels, and the more tired your soul becomes. You fix one thing and find 10 more that seem imperfect. You polish your image, but inside you feel emptier. The Japanese philosophy of wabi-sabi offers a beautiful alternative. It teaches that true beauty is found in imperfection. Life is not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be real, raw, and alive. Wabi-sabi invites us to look at the world and at ourselves through softer eyes, to find charm and simplicity, grace in aging, and beauty in what's naturally incomplete. Imagine a cracked teacup. In many cultures, people would throw it away because it's broken. But in Japan, they repair it with gold, a practice called kintsugi. The golden lines highlight the cracks instead of hiding them. They remind us that what was once broken can become even more beautiful. Those golden scars are not flaws. They are stories of strength, survival, and transformation. That's wabi-sabi, to celebrate imperfection, not to erase it in your own life. Wabi-sabi means you don't need to fix everything to be worthy of peace. You don't have to be flawless to deserve love or success. Your mistakes, your scars, your past, they all shaped you into who you are today. The cracks in your story are not something to be ashamed of. They are where your light enters. When you stop fighting your imperfections, you begin to live peacefully. When you stop trying to make everything perfect, you start to enjoy what's real. So instead of asking yourself, "How can I make this perfect?" ask, "How can I make this meaningful?" Instead of comparing yourself to others, whisper, "This is my path, and it's beautiful in its own way." Life's beauty lies in its temporary, imperfect nature. Flowers bloom and fall, seasons change, people grow and move on. That's the rhythm of existence. Remember this: perfection is not beauty. Peace is beauty. Acceptance is beauty. When you learn to see the beauty in imperfection, you stop chasing illusions and begin to truly live. That's the heart of wabi-sabi. The art of embracing what is and finding grace in every flaw. 4. The art of decluttering. Simplify to amplify. In Japan, there is a powerful word, danchi, which beautifully expresses the philosophy of living lightly. It means refuse, dispose, separate. But it's not just about throwing things away. It's about creating space for peace to flow back into your life. Danshari teaches that by removing the unnecessary, you amplify what truly matters. You don't just clean your surroundings, you cleanse your spirit. You say no to what drains your energy and yes to what helps you grow. When you declutter, something magical happens. You begin to see what's really important. Clutter, both physical and mental, is like noise. It keeps your mind busy, restless, and unfocused. When your environment is full of things you don't use or love, those things quietly demand your attention. Every object takes a small part of your energy. It's like walking through a crowded room. Even if you're not touching anything, you still feel the weight of it all. But when you start to let go of what's unnecessary, you immediately feel lighter. The air feels clearer. Your thoughts flow better, and your energy comes back to you. Start small. Look around your room right now. How many things do you actually use every day? And how many are just sitting there, taking up space, collecting dust, reminding you of the past? Every single item in your home should have a purpose or bring you joy. Japanese minimalists often live by a simple rule made famous by Marie Kondo. If it doesn't spark joy, let it go. This single idea has transformed millions of homes around the world because it teaches that true happiness doesn't come from owning more. It comes from keeping what adds meaning. But decluttering isn't only about cleaning your physical space. The real transformation happens when you declutter your inner world. You must clear out negative thoughts, toxic habits, and unhealthy relationships that keep you stuck. Let go of the things that no longer serve your peace. Maybe it's a person who constantly criticizes you, a job that drains your energy, or a habit that keeps you small. Ask yourself each day, does this help me grow, or does it hold me back? If it holds you back, let it go gently but firmly. Simplicity doesn't mean living with nothing. It means living with only what supports your peace, your growth, and your joy. When you practice Danshari, you learn that freedom isn't found in having more. It's found in needing less. A clear space creates a clear mind, and a clear mind creates a peaceful life. That is the true art of decluttering. Not just to remove things, but to make room for life itself. 5. Iki, the reason for your life. There's a beautiful and profound Japanese word called ikigai, shenki-yaf. It doesn't translate perfectly into English, but it means a reason for being, the purpose that gives your life meaning. It's that quiet but powerful reason that makes you want to wake up in the morning, no matter how small or simple your day may seem. It's the invisible thread that connects your actions, your passions, and your values. For many Japanese people, ikigai isn't something they chase. It's something they live every single day in small, mindful ways. People who live with Iki don't measure success by how much they own or how fast they climb the ladder. They measure it by how peaceful, purposeful, and joyful their lives feel. In the Japanese island of Okinawa, known as one of the world's blue zones, where people live the longest, many elders wake up with a deep sense of ikigai. They don't rush to retire. They don't live in stress or constant comparison. Instead, they spend their days gardening, cooking, helping their neighbors, spending time with family, walking in nature, or smiling at children on the street. These might seem like small actions, but for them, it's everything. Every action is done with intention and gratitude. Every day has a reason. When you find your own ikigai, you begin to understand that happiness doesn't come from possessions. It comes from purpose. You stop trying to fill the emptiness inside you with more things, more likes, or more approval. Instead, you fill your days with meaning. You start to realize that joy doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as making someone smile, learning something new, or working quietly on something you love. Ikigai transforms your focus from wanting more to becoming more. To discover your Ikigai, ask yourself a few honest questions. What do I love doing? What am I naturally good at? What does the world need from me? And what makes me feel truly alive? When your passion, skill, and service to others align, that's where your Ikigai lives. It's not always found instantly. It often reveals itself slowly through experiences, curiosity, and reflection. So, to simplify your life, don't just remove the unnecessary, add meaning to what remains. When you live with Iki, even ordinary days feel extraordinary. You no longer feel lost in the noise of the world because you have something quiet but powerful guiding you. That's the beauty of Iki. It doesn't make life louder, it makes it deeper. 6. The Zen mind, empty yet full. In the heart of Japanese philosophy lies Zen, a way of life that teaches us how to see clearly, live mindfully, and find peace within simplicity. One of the most beautiful ideas in Zen is Shin Chu Shin, which means beginner's mind. It is the practice of seeing life with openness, curiosity, and humility. No matter how much experience or knowledge you may have, the beginner's mind is free from pride, assumptions, and judgment. It's the mind of a child, ready to explore, to wonder, to learn. In a world where everyone wants to appear like an expert, the Zen mind reminds us that wisdom begins when we admit we don't know everything. Zen philosophy teaches that the goal is not to fill your mind with more information, but to empty it, to remove confusion, anxiety, and mental clutter. A full mind is heavy. It overthinks, overanalyzes, and overreacts. But an empty mind, calm and clear, can see life as it truly is. Imagine your mind as a pond. When the water is disturbed, you can't see the reflection clearly. But when it's still, you see everything: the sky, the trees, the light in perfect harmony. That's what a peaceful mind feels like. Every morning, take a few minutes to practice stillness. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Focus only on your breath, the simple rhythm of inhaling and exhaling. Thoughts will come, but let them pass like clouds drifting across the sky. Don't fight them. Don't hold on to them. Just observe and let go. With time, you'll notice something beautiful. The noise in your head begins to fade. The unnecessary thoughts lose their power. What remains is awareness, balance, and presence. Simplicity at its deepest level begins not in your home or your schedule, but in your mind. You don't need to fix the entire world. You just need to calm your inner world. When your mind is at peace, even chaos around you loses its control over you. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding wisely. You move slower, but with greater intention. You start to notice the beauty in small things: the sound of the wind, the taste of tea, the warmth of sunlight. That's the essence of the Zen mind. Empty yet full. Empty of clutter yet full of peace. Empty of pride yet full of curiosity. Empty of noise yet full of truth. When you live with a Zen mind, you don't chase peace. You become it. 7. Living slowly. The power of small moments. In the Japanese way of living, there's a quiet beauty called shibui. Shibuai. It means simple, subtle, and unobtrusive beauty. The kind of beauty that doesn't scream for attention, but gently whispers peace into your heart. Shibui teaches us that life doesn't have to be dramatic or extraordinary to be meaningful. The most beautiful moments are often the smallest. A morning cup of tea, the sound of rain tapping softly on your window, or the golden sunlight falling on your floor. These simple things, when truly noticed, can fill your heart more deeply than any luxury ever could. But the modern world moves fast. Everything is about speed, deadlines, and constant stimulation. We scroll through life like we scroll through social media, always rushing to the next thing, never stopping long enough to feel. In such a world, slowing down becomes an act of courage, a peaceful rebellion. When you choose to live slowly, you're not falling behind. You're simply choosing to live consciously. You're choosing to be present. Life was never meant to be a race. It was meant to be a rhythm, a balance between effort and rest, doing and being. When you slow down, you begin to rediscover what it means to live. You start to notice the smile of a stranger, the laughter of a child, the taste of your food, the quiet hum of the night. You realize that joy was never hiding. You were just moving too fast to see it. Japanese minimalism reminds us that peace doesn't come from owning more, but from feeling more. Feeling the wind, the silence, the texture of your own existence. When you start living slowly, even the simplest routines, washing dishes, walking, making tea, become forms of meditation. Every action becomes sacred. Every breath becomes meaningful. You don't need a new house, a new car, or a completely new life to feel fulfilled. You just need new awareness. You need to open your eyes and heart to the beauty that's already surrounding you. Simplifying life is not about running away from responsibilities or escaping the world. It's about embracing the world fully, but gently. So slow down, take a deep breath, let life happen at its natural pace. The slower you live, the richer every moment becomes. In stillness, you'll find truth. In simplicity, you'll find joy. And in every small moment, you'll find life itself. 8. Gratitude, the soul of simplicity. If there is one secret that connects every part of Japanese minimalist philosophy, from Ma to Wabi-Sabi, from Ikigai to Zen, it is Ksha, Gensier, which means gratitude. Gratitude is the quiet heartbeat of a simple life. It's the invisible thread that turns ordinary moments into extraordinary blessings. When you live with gratitude, you stop chasing more and start cherishing what's already in your hands. You begin to see that peace doesn't come from adding, but from appreciating. In the rush of modern life, it's easy to forget how much we already have. We open our eyes in the morning without realizing that waking up itself is a miracle. We drink water without remembering that millions of people still dream of clean water. We eat food, scroll our phones, talk to loved ones, all without pausing to feel thankful. But when you practice conscious, suddenly the smallest things, a cool breeze, a smile, a quiet morning, feel like treasures. You realize that happiness was never far away. It was hidden inside gratitude all along. Japanese culture is built on appreciation. Whether it's bowing in respect, saying arigato, thank you after a meal, or carefully wrapping a gift, there's always an awareness of life's simple blessings. Gratitude turns daily routines into rituals of mindfulness. It softens your heart, slows your pace, and makes you notice the beauty you once overlooked. A simple bowl of rice becomes sacred. A walk under cherry blossoms feels like poetry. A shared laugh becomes a memory worth keeping. Simplicity without gratitude feels cold, like an empty room. But simplicity with gratitude feels warm, like a peaceful home filled with light. When you simplify your life, gratitude is what gives it soul. It's the difference between living less and feeling more. Every thank you you whisper is a doorway to contentment. Every moment of appreciation invites peace to sit beside you. So tonight, before you sleep, pause and whisper softly, "Thank you, life. Thank you for today, for the lessons, the chances, the people who care. Thank you for what I have. Even if it's small, it's still mine. Thank you for who I'm becoming. Still learning, still growing, still grateful." When you live this way, your world changes quietly. Nothing outside may be different, but inside, everything is. Gratitude transforms minimalism from a lifestyle into a form of art, a spiritual practice that makes every sunrise a blessing, every breath a gift, and every simple moment a miracle. 9. Final words. The simple life is the real luxury. My friend, we live in a world that constantly celebrates more. More speed, more possessions, more achievements, more noise. Everywhere you look, the message is clear. To be happy, you must accumulate, rush, and compete. But the truth that Japanese minimalism quietly teaches us is the opposite. The real secret of happiness is not more, but less and better. It's not about having everything, but about appreciating what you already have. It's about creating space for joy, peace, and meaning in your life. When you simplify, you don't lose richness. You discover it. You notice the warmth of a quiet morning, the comfort of a tidy room, the freedom of uncluttered space. You learn that true wealth isn't measured by possessions, but by clarity, presence, and gratitude. The more you remove what is unnecessary, the more room you create for what truly matters. Your mind feels lighter, your heart feels fuller, and your days feel longer and more meaningful. Here at English with Rambo, we believe that simplifying life is not a sacrifice. It is a gift you give to yourself. It's not about living with nothing. It's about living with intention. It's about saying no to distraction, stress, and unnecessary worry so you can say yes to peace, joy, and purpose. Each choice to remove what doesn't matter is a choice to honor what does. So, from today, don't ask, how can I get more? Ask, what can I let go of? Live simply. Think deeply. Be grateful. Treasure the small moments. Embrace imperfection and breathe fully. That is the true art of living. It is not flashy. It is not loud, but it is the real luxury. A life of meaning, presence, and lasting happiness. When you live this way, every day becomes a celebration of simplicity, and every moment becomes yours to truly enjoy.